Thank you, guys.
And I think that applause showed the appreciation and the admiration for everything that you've done. When you look at those pictures on the screen, you look at the crashes, you look at the wins, you look at the presidents who've been so keen to meet you, how would you sum up your life in racing, what it's given you?
After you watch things like that, you see me wrecking more than you see me winning. But it's just, I came along at the right time for me, and in NASCAR, it was growing at the time. I went to the very first race my dad ran, 1949, the first Cup race there was, so I hung around until I was 21 and started driving. And, you know, it's one of the deals where it was a family business. Mother looked after the money, and Daddy looked after my brother and myself, and we worked on the car, and, you know, and it just all come to be, and it, again, was just the right place at the right time with a lot of people helping us.
Yeah, and the trademark, the hat and the glasses. The hat is sort of replacing, getting you out of wearing all those sponsors' hats, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you know, to begin with, we really didn't have a lot of sponsors until, I think, 80, 72, 71, 72. And you always had the wrong hat on. If you're talking to the STP people, you had a Goodyear hat on. If you're talking to the Goodyear people, you had a Ford hat on, whatever it was. And so the heck with it. We just try something, and we're just blank all the way, so it doesn't make any difference.
Jackie, what impression has this man made on you, both from the commentary box, you watched him from trackside, the commentary box as well?
I've been lucky enough to see Richard race a lot. When I was with ABC's Wide World of Sports in the States, I was doing commentary. This man, in my mind, has had a bigger following than any driver in the history of motorsport. If you were in America seeing Richard Petty drive, whether he's driving or whether he's walking down the pit lane, he is the king. And there's nobody gets a bigger reception than him.
And statistically, the numbers tell us 200 wins, 7 times champion, 7 wins in the Daytona 500. Statistically, the most successful driver in the history of motorsport, the winningest, to use a phrase they use in America. What would you pick out? If you could pick out one achievement, one race, one moment, what would it be?
Surviving. No, you know, the last race I won in 1984 was the 200th race, but it was on the last lap, last green flag lap. I beat Cale Yarborough by a couple of feet, and we did it on July the 4th in front of the President of the United States, and so, you know, it couldn't get much better than that.
Yeah. On the other hand, there were ones that got away, and 1976 Daytona 500, I think you were in the commentary box for ABC, and it was a finish that sort of sums up what NASCAR is all about. Jackie was struggling to keep up with it in the commentary box, but you were how far short of victory there?
Did you get excited about that?
I wasn't looking. I was a commentator.
No, it was just, that's what you call a racing accident. I was trying to get in the same place he was trying to get, so it didn't work out too good.
And he more or less overtook you on the infield as well, didn't he?
If you go back, like I say, we've been fortunate we won 7 races at 7 Daytona 500s, but more people remember that race than the 7 I won.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever it takes, you know.
Yeah. What is it that is so distinctive about NASCAR? Why do drivers from other categories struggle to come and establish and achieve anything in NASCAR, coming from single-seaters or whatever?
It's a different lifestyle. It'd be like me coming trying to run Formula One. I would have to come and get in the groove and learn the way people work and the way people get around with cars and all that stuff. So it's a society, and ours is a society. And stock car racing was a Southern sport, so it just stayed Southern for a long time, and it's still Southern roots. And, you know, when somebody else comes in and tries to run and stuff, they don't stay long enough to learn the process, I guess, is what it all be. So it's tough from that standpoint.
But when you come over here to what is essentially a Formula One function, and it reflects the other side of the motorsport world, what is the impression from within NASCAR and yourself of what goes on in Formula One and the kind of performers and the characters like Lewis Hamilton that we have here in Formula One?
Yeah, you know, the mechanism of these cars, the technology on the Formula cars have always been way ahead of stock cars naturally. But stock cars catch up a little bit, and the Formula cars just go further and further and further. And, you know, I was telling the guys, we're doing this a bunch of stuff with NASCAR this coming year with electronics in the car and all that kind of stuff. Pit stops are going to be electronic. There's just a bunch of stuff going on. And I told them if they kept taking these cars and making more electronic stuff, I'm going to sit in the grandstand and drive them. Did y'all get that? I went right over your head, right? In other words, the cars are so...
It is becoming like that, yeah.
So technical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The driver has to drive them, don't get me wrong, but they make adjustments. The driver don't make adjustments. The technology does. So it's not that they're easier to drive, they're just different to drive.
Different in your day and great in your day as well. And you typified a wonderful era of NASCAR motor racing. Richard Petty, ladies and gentlemen, who gets our Gregor Grant Lifetime Achievement Award from Sir Jackie Stewart. And it is a privilege to have the great man here tonight. The King, Richard Petty.